This is your mom's favorite show, Beer and Chill podcast. My name is Jan,
And I'm Craig.
and we would really appreciate if you would stop by and listen to our show. We are talking about interesting facts about your favorite movies, games, and TV shows.
For example, did you know that Christopher Lee and Ian McKellen had a real-life beef because Christopher Lee wanted to play Gandalf in Lord of the Rings?
And many other great facts.
We hope you check us out and enjoy the rest of your show. Bye-bye.
What's your favorite scary movie?
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Your suffering will be legendary even in hell.
They're here.
Welcome, victims, to the Horr-Gasm podcast. Kill the lights, lock the doors, get comfy, and prepare for the sexiest and scariest podcast around. I'm Nick, and with me is my co-host, Allie.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
how's it going?
I mean, we're into spooky, scary favorite month
We're
ever.
into Spooktober. So happy, so excited. Let the horror movies continue. Not begin, continue.
Instagram is such a wonderful, spooky place right now. It makes my whole life, like scrolling through our Instagram feed is just like, wow. And I'm posting like so many stories and stuff right now because, and like weird, creepy TikToks. And I keep, this really nice guy messaged us on Instagram because I posted one of Michael Myers doing the Mamma Mia dance and Leave.
I saw that, yeah.
And he just subscribed to us and he was like, what have I done? And I feel like if I don't make people question their like humility at least once a day, like, did I even live that day?
No.
It's so much fun. And like, you know, the time I spend on TikTok is actually useful because I have so many spooky, scary things popping up. And I'm like,
Yay.
Instagram. It's fun for me.
Well, good.
Oh, that's fun.
Well, I'll start off with some somber news, if I can find it. Yuko Takeuchi, I might have ruined her last name. She was known for being in the first Ringu in Japan. She passed away on the 27th of September.
Aww.
I think it was suicide, sadly. So,
That's horrible. There seems to be well, I know it's also probably to do with the current state of the world, but there's just so much sadness in the world right now. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's so sad. Ugh,
it's too bad, because I know the Ring, you haven't seen any of the Rings yet.
I haven't.
I heard Ringu is really, really good.
And I've heard that too. I was talking to Allie at work actually about The Grudge because I was telling her we watched The Grudge just as like a fun thing. And she was like, "Have you seen the like original Grudge?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "It is so scary." And I was like, "What?" So now I have to track that down and watch it. So
Yeah, I don't think it's on Shudder.
no.
The versus one of Ring versus Grudge is on Shudder,
Right.
though,
Yes,
which
yes,
I want to
yes.
see so bad.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's weird how Japanese and Chinese, like Asian horror, they get the ghost horror so perfect.
So good. It's
Case
so
in point, you watched it all. I watched most of it. I didn't get to
Yes.
finish it. The Bridge Curse.
Good. Oh my God.
And I thought it's a kind of a whatever, it's I think Chinese.
Yes, it's Chinese horror.
Whatever
Yeah.
Chinese horror movie, it's probably like a B movie. No, it really isn't.
Holy crap, it was good.
And how they, comparing Asian horror to American or Western culture horror is so different. How
Right?
the Asian ones can basically, they drag out that tension for as long as they can and then some.
Yes.
Whereas Western is 1, 2,
Jump.
3, jump scare.
Jump scares.
1, 2, 3, jump scare.
And
1,
my
2, 3.
nemesis.
Tricked you. Wasn't jump scare. And right behind it, jump scare.
And my nemesis, Shaky Cam.
And shaky cam. There's the one scene in we doing some fiddling around here. We're gonna next week is gonna be the
bridge curse.
The bridge curse.
Yeah.
Well, I'll explain later.
Yeah.
But the one scene where the guy's in the bathroom and he's having a very explicit bowel movement.
Yes.
And I think like the whole scene goes for at least 15 minutes.
Yes.
10 to 15 minutes of just tension. You think it's going to happen in the stall? No. No, it goes on, he's around the sink? No. And then there's a bucket. And I kind of called the bucket part, but it keeps adding and adding and stretching and stretching. You think, what's going to happen? Is it now? No. About now? No. It's perfected.
It's fantastic. It's one of the best horror movies I've watched in a minute. And you haven't seen the ending. And I was
haven't.
like capital texting you while you were downstairs. I was like, Nick.
Yeah, I went to bed.
ending.
I ended up going to bed and I woke up to these texts. I'm like, oh, I missed out.
Yeah, it was insane. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see any of it. And then they like give you a twist. And then you're like, wow, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, they twist it again. And you're like,
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm flailing.
It's I don't know how they do it. It's just they have the gift of holding that tension.
Yeah, it's almost like, Eastern filmmakers are better, exactly like you said, holding that tension and
building
like,
on it and building on it and building on it.
And they're not afraid to go places.
No, they're not.
Like, they're not afraid to do something, like, really bizarre, which
Yeah.
I love. And I think that's,
The one downside is it's always kind of cookie cutter ghosts.
yes.
They always have the same kind of look, long dark hair, white clothes.
Right.
Like The Grudge, like Sadako.
Yeah.
I forget the name for, actually I have it here, for The Ring. Like,
Well, it was Samara, I think, in that.
thank you, Samara,
Yeah.
thank you. It's just, they all look kind of the same.
Right.
And that's not the bad thing, but at the same time, you lose all originality.
Right.
And that's the one downside to the constant, Asian, ghost horror. It's all the
Sure.
same.
I think that, honestly, part of the reason that I actually like that is you always know what to look for almost,
True.
and I totally understand that it gets repetitive, because totally it does, but it's like, that that's a bad person then, because it is the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
With, like you said, The Grudge and The Ring and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just the same sort of, ghost over and over it.
It
But
is.
you
It is.
you
but
know
also,
who the bad guy is.
it wouldn't hurt to have, I don't know, a little, like, something, change it up a bit.
Right, totally.
But at the same time, though, they also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right,
So,
right.
it's whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't even get a good look at the ghosts and the bridge curse.
Yeah.
It's still pretty spooky. It's got a good look to it, and there's more I want to get into. We'll do that next
Yes,
week.
I was going to say,
There's a lot more to get into, but
speaking of The Grudge, we also kind of watched the new Grudge.
yeah, again,
I watched it all.
I snuck out early because I had other shit to do.
Yeah, it was not great. It was.
I heard that. I heard it wasn't the best.
And I thought, fuck that, I'm gonna try it, because screw the people who review movies. Anarchy.
Yeah.
I just I wanted to try it, and halfway through, I was not feeling it. It was exactly what you said. It's cheap scares, and it's. And there's good gore in it, though. That's the one thing I will give it, is it's good gore.
Yeah, from what I saw at the beginning, it looked pretty good.
Very good gore, and I appreciate that. But in 2020, you better be doing good gore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what kind of bugged me, was that it relied on that. Like, it relied on watching an older woman chop her fingers off, and then watching a guy pull his eyeballs out and stuff like that. It's like, if you have to rely on that, when you watch older movies, even the cheesy ones, like Friday the 13th, the gore in that is amazing. And it bugs me that that's what it relied on, because the story was shit. And it time jumped all over. And I don't know.
That's where people forget that less is more.
Yes!
Keep it simple, keep it
Give
easy.
me a nice linear story.
Yeah.
Do a flashback or two, that's fine. I'm cool with flashbacks.
Yeah.
But it was constantly jump. Like, when you have to have, a scorecard of the date, like 10 or 15 times in a movie is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. And then the ending was very meh. Like, I kind of liked how they, like, ended it. It was just like this scary thing happened, and then the door closed, and just the credits started rolling on this, and it, like, went from screaming, crazy, terrifying, door slam, and then just credits, silent, and I was like, that's ominous. That's cool.
Yeah.
But, yeah, super disappointed. Super duper disappointed. Which was too bad, because I always hope that when something gets a shitty review that, you know, it wasn't actually that bad. But,
Yeah.
oh well.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks. Also because we watched The Grudge not that long ago, and I thought it was fun. So.
I still think The Grudge is really good. It's got Sarah
Yeah.
Michelle Gellar. When I first watched it in theater, I tried to think, it's just a Buffy movie. Don't get scared.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
But it was creepy. It's a creepy movie. And this one, I was hoping that it would creep me out, too. I was like, okay, you know, we've got all the same, you know, the creepy, like the fingers in the hair, like that are in the trailer. And, you know, like lots of gross dead bodies and stuff. Like, all right, we got this. Nope.
That's,
Disappointment.
Makes me sad.
I know. Ugh. Yeah, it's too bad. Super too bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh, well.
I know. It's just like, I'd love some more original movies, honestly. You know? Like,
Yeah.
instead of redoing sequels, prequels, whatever kind of stuff, I'd love some newer stuff. Like this Bridge Curse, that's why I think it was so good, is because I haven't seen anything like that in a minute.
No, it's a good, I gotta get back into it though, but it's a good kind of take on the ghost, you know, the dead girls, you know, her death, the bridge, you'll curse the bridge. I like the idea that during the day it's 13 steps, but at night on on New Year, a leap year.
Yep.
If you walk up the steps, you count out loud to 14, and you turn around, look down the steps, she'll be right there. Like there's rules.
Right.
And I like that. How there is, you know, having rules works. It helps. But
Yeah, it was just something new, and I think that anytime you watch something new, it's just refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, did The Grudge have to be remade?
well, I heard it wasn't really a remake. It's part of the original story.
Yeah,
But whatever.
I mean, it felt not shot for shot, but it felt like this literally the same story. They used some of the same shots. They used the bathtub thing.
Yeah, I saw
They
that
used the
part.
fingers in the hair thing, the real estate agent, all that kind of stuff. The police, everything.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine, it's a continuation, but then don't do it with all the same things. Like she's got to have a few more tricks up her sleeve.
No. No. I haven't even seen it all, so I can't give a full.
Totally, exactly, yeah.
But
yeah, for sure.
from what I've heard, it was disappointing. I was a little excited at first. I'm like, oh, so we're doing a Grudge. Well, I don't know why, but okay, no, it's fine. I'm sure it'll be cool. You know, whatever.
And I'm also watching this anime. It's called The Promised Neverland.
I've been meaning to get into that. I really have.
It is so creepy. Like, so creepy. In the way that Attack on Titan is sort of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a bit more, like, it's quite graphic. In the first episode, you watch a child get eaten, like, ripped apart.
Oh, nice.
But, like, yeah, you know, and when you can do that first episode, like, fuck me up.
It takes 3. It always takes 3 episodes to get into a show.
Yeah.
Like with Trailer Park Boys.
Sure.
The first one's like, what the hell was this? Second episode was, okay, I think I get it. Third episode is, this is genius. I'm in, 100%.
Yeah, and this one is just like, it straight up kind of tells you exactly what's going on and then pulls you through the whole thing for all the 10 episodes. I'm just about to finish it.
Cool.
But then I got it back into Ink Masters.
Yes, Ink Masters.
Because it's, I mean, I don't want to give away the date, but it's like the beginning of October right now. And so Netflix and Shudder and Prime all come out with their new movies, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, ooh, what's the new stuff? So I'm trying to finish up my old stuff. But yeah, Promised Neverland, super good. Another super suspenseful one.
I need to get into
Oh,
that.
yeah. And there's only 10 episodes. Like, it's not like
Oh, wow.
typical anime that's like 24 episodes. It's only 10. because I was like, like on episode 5, 6-ish, and I was like, ooh, it feels like we're kind of wrapping up. Like, what? And I was like, oh, well, maybe we're just wrapping up like the first arc, because usually animes are 2 parts basically this season. Nope, that's all we get.
Oh, okay.
Disappointed.
Kind of like Dragon's Dogma.
Okay.
It's only, I think, 7 episodes. It's not terrible, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't know. It wasn't as good as like Castlevania.
Right. See, and that was a good one.
That
But
was
that's only
very
like
good.
4 parts. An episode isn't, or a season, isn't it? Like 4 or 5, I thought.
I thought it was more than that.
Was it? Maybe, I don't know. I haven't
But
watched it in like
it's-
a hot minute.
Yeah, but it's basically kind of like a one and done
Yes.
series.
Interesting.
It's not bad.
I've watched a few like that.
It's
I
not
love.
terrible. It could be. It could have been a little more to it, but whatever.
Yeah, but you said that you're watching Food Wars, and that's like 20 some episodes, like
Yeah.
a typical one. They give you the first arc and the first half, the second arc, and they're both good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's kind of what I was expecting. And so when I was like at 5 or 6, and I was like, what? No, more. But speaking of more, should we get into Coraline? Oh yeah, we watched Coraline.
Yep, we did. We just went off on a tangent as usual. Yes, we did Coraline.
Yeah, we watched Coraline this week. We'll get
it's-
into the review right now. All right, so this week, as I just obviously remembered, we watched Coraline, which is
Yes.
a 2009 movie. It is directed by Henry Selick, and it was written by, well, the screenplay was written by Henry Selick, but it was based off of a book by Neil Gaiman, who is one of my
Nice.
favorite authors. He is super funky.
He is. He's got.
He
If
is.
he's who I think he is, I'm gonna do a quick double check. He had a big collection of comics
Yes, he
in
does.
the 90s.
He has tons of comics, yeah.
Yes.
I have a
and-
couple anthology novels by him, like that are short stories, and they're so weird and so good. Yeah. I was,
Yeah,
when I
he's-
read this, I was like, oh, right, he did write the book about Coraline. My bad. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Oh, he did some Judge Dredd.
Mm-hmm.
He did
Yeah,
some Judge
he's,
Dredd. He did. If I can find it,
yeah, he's dipped his toes in a few different, like, genres and stuff.
Sandman. He did Sandman. Oh, he did do Sandman. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
There's some of them that's really that I know of. I can't find them. But they're very different. Like there was if it's who I'm thinking of, he did ones about this mechanical man.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm thinking of. I could be dead wrong. Could be thinking of someone else, but
Yeah,
I think
he's,
I am.
he's a
I think
cool
I
dude.
am now.
And they based it, yeah, like loosely, obviously, off of the book. But it's, yeah, good story. And this is, the only thing about this movie is I find it long. Like, I feel like it drags just a bit.
It does a bit, yeah.
And we watched it in 2 parts today because we're adults who sometimes need a nap mid-movie.
I need a nap. It was nap time.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I was tired.
Yeah.
I was up
Ichabod's
early.
having a nap right now as we record, so, you know.
Yeah, I was up early. I don't know why. I just woke up at 6:30. I'm like, well,
Blech.
I'm awake now.
Yep.
Crap.
Yep. That's
And
just
I
how
was
it
paying
goes.
for it later, and now I'm somewhat awake. So
Yeah. It's, you know, in the evenings, usually when we record, we're always like, But it's nice to kind of, like, come down off, you know, the movie and the day and do something we enjoy. That's why I love recording in the evenings.
yeah,
Makes me happy.
yeah.
Yeah, this movie was a trip, literally. Okay?
It was. Where did you first hear about this?
Well, I remember it being advertised. So this movie came out when I was still in high school, and it was, I remember seeing it and being like, oh my god, like, it looks so good, and this looks amazing, and I should watch it. And then I didn't go to it in theaters because I heard it was scary. And I was a big baby. Or, sorry, I was a wuss puss.
A wuss puss. You were a
Yes.
wuss puss. Yeah.
Which is what Coraline calls a cat. Does he even have a name, the cat?
I think it's just cats.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it, and then when it came out on DVD, I was telling you, I actually remember going to the store, like to Blockbuster Rogers, and renting it. Which is like, I can't even believe, like, it feels like so long ago since anybody rented movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I rented it and I watched it with Dad, and I was terrified of the other mother. Terrified. I was like, nope. And when I have nightmares still to this day, 11 years later, it's still sometimes about her.
Oh, jeez.
Like, it's one of those things that just, like, burned into my retinas, and I'm like,
Yeah.
nope. 1-800, nope.
1-800. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just the whole idea creeped me out. The buttons and everything. It just didn't sit well with me. I have
Yeah.
a thing with dolls, though. That's like my fear is dolls. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can be creepy.
Right?
I know there was like an old, it was a kid's show. I think
Sure.
it was based in, I think it was on PBS. Definitely based in Britain because they had this whole doll puppets era of kids shows,
Cute.
and they made them incredibly lifelike and just
Oh.
creepy as fuck.
Ooh.
And I'm like watching, I'm like, okay, I get this is a kid's show. As a kid, I understood that, but at the same time, this is disturbing. This looks
Right?
weird. This looks off.
Yep.
I'm changing the channel, and I did. It just looked weird.
Yes.
Some of the British children's programming was just
Terrifying.
bonkers. Like, even like
And
with
sometimes without meaning to be.
yeah,
You know what I
like
mean?
even with like the string puppets.
Yes.
There was a bunch of those, like, Thunderbirds and all that. I found this other old one. I forget what it's called now, but it was just creepy. Very, very weird show.
Oh.
I remember watching as a kid. It just kind of popped up on YouTube on my suggestions.
Sure.
I'm like, what is this? And I looked into it. I'm like, oh my goodness. What the hell is this?
Oof.
I watched an episode. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I think that's enough for now.
It's very Thunderbirds-y, but
Sure.
just different.
Oh. Well, how did you first hear about Coraline?
Like you, I saw the trailers for
Yes.
it. I heard about it. I didn't have any desire to watch it. It didn't do it for me.
Okay.
The eye thing was creepy,
Yep.
but I thought, okay, this is kind of a for kids kind of scary movie.
Totally.
Whatever. The one thing I did like about it is that it's a claymation,
Yes.
and I love all the claymation. Like
You
ever
can
since
appreciate that.
Mr. Frog and Mr. Toad.
Really?
Yes.
See, and I always think of Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, but they came before.
Well,
They were
sure.
like I think the originators, if not one of the first ones who actually made a short little show or a little mini movie of Mr. Frog, Mr. Toad, based on the books. And I grew up with those books, and I remember seeing, I think it was on PBS again,
Yep.
how they did it. I'm thinking as a
Interesting.
kid, I'm like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
It would take forever, move it like like just a little movement.
Yeah.
Click. Move it again. Click. Like, it's just time consuming. Nowadays it'd be easier.
For sure.
And now there's a few. There's Wallace and Gromit. There's Coraline.
Yep.
There's Kubo and 6 strings, 10
Yep.
strings. There's a few out there.
Yeah, but
But-
it's literally such an art. Like
It is.
Ugh, I was just kind of reading through the IMDb trivia and like all the sets they had to make and all the different puppets they had to make
I
and
think there was
like
12 Coralines.
28.
28. Okay, wow.
28 different Coralines, and they stitched all the clothing for them, like hand knit all the clothing and
oh,
like
wow.
I know. Like, I can't even imagine. Yeah, it's just such a labor of love. And it's, like, I don't know. I think it made for such a cool movie. Something we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You don't... for now, I think there's now 3 horror, quotation marks, of claymation movies. There's this, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Corpse Bride.
Yes.
And 2 of them are Tim Burton.
Oh, I love Corpse Bride. I forgot
I
about
love
that
Tim Burton's
movie.
work. He's a really
That's
good...
true.
His gothic ideas is just beautiful.
You know, the only one that never did it for me was Sweeney Todd. That one never did it for me.
I need to watch that again. I've watched a bit of it. I need to get back into that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a list again. But I wouldn't mind seeing that one.
Yeah, I totally watched it again. I didn't enjoy it. I don't know why. I think I don't
And
know.
the thing
I
is,
found
though,
it boring.
it's right up your alley. It's a musical.
Totally.
It's got great actors and actresses.
Mm-hmm.
It's a total Alana thing.
I know, and I just did nothing for me.
Huh.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I need to watch it again though.
I think me too.
Yay!
Well, let's go through the characters of Coraline.
Characters.
So I know a little bit of trivia here.
whoop.
Before this was claymation, this is going to be a live action movie.
Oh.
They're going to go 100% live action, and then they decided, nope, let's not do that. It'll be too scary for kids.
I was gonna say that would have been a completely different
Oh, yeah.
movie.
And they already had Dakota Fanning cast as Coraline. And when they decided, no, let's do claymation, they asked her, do you want to still be part of it? She's like, yeah, sure. It'll be fun.
Totally. Well, her voice is fantastic.
Oh,
in
it
that.
is. She's a great actress, I think. So this movie stars Dakota Fanning as Coraline Jones, a curious 11-year-old girl with blue hair.
Yeah.
Terry Hatcher as Mel Jones, Coraline's mother, and the Beldam/other mother.
Yep.
And she's known for being on Seinfeld. She was on
Desperate Housewives.
Desperate Housewives, Lois and Clark, The Real Adventures of Superman.
Yes!
She was Lois Lane.
The best Superman TV show. Fuck Smallville. Just saying.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I said
We're
it.
going to lose followers for that.
I don't
take.
care. Give me Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher any
At
day.
the time, that was really good. At the time, that was
Right.
so good.
I watched it every day after school for like years.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I rewatched it not that long ago, and I still liked it.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
We have Jennifer Saunders and Dawn French as April Spink and Miriam Forcible,
Oh, those are the sisters.
the pair of retired burlesque actresses.
Yes.
And we got the wonderful, talented, amazing Keith David as
Yes.
the cat.
Oh, his name is literally just the cat.
Just the
That's
cat.
Fabulous. I like Wuss-Puss.
I do too. John Hodgman as Charlie Jones, Caroline's father. And John Linnell is the other father's singing voice. And we have Robert Bailey Jr. as Wyborn YB Lovett, the geeky, nervous 11-year-old grandson of Coraline's landlady, Mrs. Lovett.
Oh, yeah.
We also have Ian McShane as Sergei Alexander Bobinski,
Yes, Babinski.
Yeah.
He's not drunk, he's eccentric.
a former Chernobyl liquidator. Apparently, he's got this medal on his shirt the entire movie. That's for doing the cleanup of the Chernobyl incident.
Oh.
That's also why his skin is blue.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely makes sense.
And Carolyn Crawford as Mrs. Lovett.
Mrs. Lovett. Oh, she was the when word blah, blah.
At the end, she was
Yeah.
the older lady.
The older lady. Yeah, cool. Yeah, small cast, but fabulous.
Oh yeah.
Because they just basically are in this house. The whole movie takes place in this house and in the other realm of the house. So there's not, there's nobody walking around on streets or nothing like that. It's just the tenants of the house, because it's like a kind of like a duplexy sort of thing.
Threeplex.
But, yeah, threeplex. And
Yeah.
so there's the very, very attic, and then where Mr. Babinski lives, and then Coraline and her family live in the main floor. And the sisters, in quotations, I don't know, are they actually related? Or they
No,
have
I think
different-
they're just burlesque dancers.
I was
who
going to
just
say,
best
are they
friends.
two spinsters who live together?
I don't know about that.
I'm doing quotations. But
But
they live in the basement.
but
with
there was also-
1,000 dogs.
Yes, and yes, there was though. They went downtown. There were other people. They did have
Oh,
other people.
yeah, they
There
did
was-
have one
yeah.
scene in a store.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody really talks to them, though. And I guess, her picture talked to her at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, really interesting, though. I love when they have smaller casts and what they can do with that.
Yeah, I can really focus on those
Developing the characters.
instead of having someone in the background or something. Yeah,
Love it. Let's do the plot.
let's go into plot.
Let's
Okay,
do the
so
plot.
11-year-old Coraline Jones and her parents Mel and Charlie
Oh,
move
she is 11.
Yeah,
Oh, you made that joke, and I was like, yeah, how old is she?
she's 11.
And you're like,
She's
11.
That's why I said it. Move into an old mansion that has been divided up and is now known as the Pink Palace Apartments. As her parents struggle to complete their gardening catalog, Coraline is left is often left alone.
Yeah, her parents kind of suck.
Yeah, they're not
They're
very
kind of
nice.
like non-present parents.
They're busy with their own shit, and like her mom was always, she treats Coraline as a nuisance.
Yes.
You know,
You're absolutely
go away,
right.
leave me alone.
Yeah, if I
It's-
do this one thing for you, will you just be quiet, or will you just leave me be? And it's
Yeah.
like, oof. Like, she's 11, and obviously it's summer because nobody's in school. Oh, yeah, it is because they go back to school shopping. So
Yes.
obviously it's in summer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like her two friends from her previous place are gone.
Yeah,
They left home. They're supposed to come and visit her though, but whatever.
right.
As her parents struggled to complete their while using a dowsing rod, she plucked from a bush in the garden, attempting to find a well nearby. She meets the landlady's grandson, Wayborn YB Lovat, and the feral black cat who follows him around. I hate this kid.
Yeah, this kid
He looks
sucks.
weird. He looks goofy. He's not very positive to the plot. They actually, according to, because this is based on a book, they threw him into the movie because in the book she just talks to herself.
That
So
would
this
probably be a little
character,
strange.
this character was not part of the novel. He was
I
just
see.
added for someone to talk to.
I liked him more as, like, in the other world than I did in this world,
He's
obviously.
even creepy on the other world. He's very
Totally.
ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. In this world, he's just honestly that annoying kid. He's like the kid from Monster House. It's the same thing, you know, that annoying kind of like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
So she has to explain for exposition. That makes sense though. So she's not talking to herself.
And my question is, where did she learn about the well?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she's looking for a well. The well's
Yeah.
there. Like she got the dowsing rod. It's just
Yeah.
it's weird. During their conversation, Coraline is unimpressed by YB, and he informs her that her dowsing rod is poison oak, which gives her a rash on her palm. Later, she meets her new neighbors, Mr. Babinski, who is supposedly training a circus of mice, and retired burlesque actresses Mrs. Spink and Forcible.
Mm-hmm.
Forcible has a giant rack in this movie.
Well, they like in the pictures, one of them has a big butt and the other one has big boobs, and that's
yeah.
just their like, you know, their contrast basically when they were
And
burlesque dancers.
Later on, we see them actually do a dance in the
Oh
other
my
world.
god.
And
Yes.
this is a kids show.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I know. There's like almost full nudity and it's like whoa 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 whoa.
Basically pasties. She's got
Yes.
pasties on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I don't even
Oh
I couldn't
dear.
believe it.
YB gives Caroline a button-eyed rag doll he discovered in his grandmother's trunk that eerily resembles her. Later, while she's exploring the house, the doll lures Coraline to a small door in the living room that is bricked up and can only be unlocked by a button-shaped key. That night, a mouse guides Coraline through the door, a portal to a seemingly more colorful and cheerful version of her real home. Coraline meets her other mother and other father, button-eyed doppelgangers of her parents that appear more attentive and caring. And this is true,
Yes.
because they're nice to her, they put her at the focus.
Yeah, they put her first before it's like in the other world they don't obviously have jobs or
Yeah.
you know, whatever the circumstances are, so they can give her their full attention, which is all she wants. She
Yep.
just wants to be the main focus.
She does. After dinner, the other mother puts mud on her rash. She goes to sleep and awakens in the real world the next morning, finding her palm has healed.
They never explain how she ends up in her real bed.
No, I don't get that. I really don't. And yet she tries it after, and it doesn't work. I don't get it.
Yeah,
really
I thought
don't.
that they would explain it. I don't really recall watching it like 10 years ago, but I was like, oh, they have to explain that.
Maybe... I don't know, maybe the more she spends time there, the more powerful the other mother becomes.
For sure.
And can keep her there.
Yeah, I mean, it makes
Kinda-
sense.
kinda
There has
similar-
to be.
Kind of similar to Freddy Krueger in Freddy vs. Jason, where he needs the fear to give him strength and power. He couldn't do much at the beginning because he didn't have enough
Because he didn't
power
have, yeah.
of the fear. So
That makes sense.
that's
that
just
checks out.
yeah. Where was I? Wybie then tells her about his grandmother's twin sister, who disappeared in the house as a child. Undeterred, Coraline visits the other world the following night, entertained by the other Babinski, who conducts a mouse circus for her and the other Wybie, who has been rendered mute by the other mother to please Coraline.
Yeah, that is so creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my other thing about Wyborn, is that she's kind of, like, super mean to him. Like, she's kind of bullies him a bit. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve bullying, because he kind of sucks. But, like, she calls him, she doesn't call him Wyborn or Wybie.
Why
she
were you
prefers.
born?
Yeah, why were you born is what she calls him. Like, ma'am, like, he already lives with his grandma. Like, there's obviously issues. Like, oh my gosh. And, like, his only friend is a feral cat. Like,
Yep.
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Coraline also encounters the black cat from the real world, who is able to speak in the other world and likes to play games with the other mother, who hates cats. Each time she visits the other world, Coraline goes to sleep there and wakes up in the real world, increasingly displeased she didn't wake up in the other world, and thinking her experiences of the previous night have all been a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Until she leaves cheese.
Yes.
Coraline discovers her mother has locked the small door in the living room and hidden the key, saying she found rodent dung near the door, and to make Coraline feel safer. While her parents are out of the house, Coraline finds the key and locks the door, going to the other world in the daytime for the first time. Once there, she finds the other mother is not present, but finds a note inviting her downstairs to the other Spink and Forcible's vaudeville cabaret show. Coraline attends, along with the other Wybie. This is where we get the full-on topless, big-breasted character with pasties on her nipples. Oof.
It was, it's just, like, I just think I wasn't expecting it. Like, because these women are, like, in their 70s. They have walkers and canes.
And even Coraline is reacting
she's
normally,
like,
you know. She's like, I can't believe she's naked. Like, she's not wearing any clothes.
Yep.
And it's all the dogs are there in attendance, which I swear they have, like, human teeth.
Yes.
Which looks creepy as hell.
It is super creepy. Do you think maybe because they were actually the rats? Or no, they're bats, I guess.
Bats, yeah.
Ugh. I don't love it.
It's weird.
I don't love it.
Weird.
And everything in this world is button eyes, so you can kind of like...
Oh yeah, we already mentioned that yet. Everyone has button eyes.
Everybody has button eyes. So that's how you can kind of tell that they're not, I don't know, from the real world. And then when she meets the cat in the other world, he doesn't have button eyes. So that's how she can tell that he's real.
And also the when she's looking around, she runs into the other dad.
Yes.
And he's kind of telling her he's got letting some stuff slip.
Yep.
And the piano that can play for him is stopping him from talking.
Yep. Exactly.
And he can tell, like, he's looking rough.
Yes.
He's looking pretty worn down and yeah.
Yeah, like they look really good. It's almost like their appearance like deteriorates every day when she goes. Like they both look like a little more haggard each
or when
time.
the mother isn't around to kind of keep the charade going.
Yeah. Exactly.
Afterward, the other mother invites Coraline to stay in the other world forever, on the condition that she have buttons sewn over her eyes. Horrified, Coraline goes to sleep, but when she wakes up, she's still in the other world. She then demands to return home. The other mother transforms into a menacing version of herself and imprisons Coraline in the hallway mirror.
And this is
she gets
the image.
creepy, yeah. Like she becomes like the loving mother to his long, spindly, like just not strewn out, gaunt like character.
Like she grows to be like 8 or 9 feet tall, and she's super, super, super thin, and got a really long neck and like an arched back, and like she's got like super intense cheekbones, and like her hair is really like, it's just creepy, and she's got like a big butt that looks like insectish almost.
Yeah, like a spider's abdomen. Yeah.
Yes.
And even like her actual dad, he's got a weird neck.
Yes.
His neck is weird.
Yeah. In the
Yuck.
beginning, you're like, I don't know about that guy. I don't like his neck.
I don't like his neck. His neck. You know why? It's very E.T.-ish.
Oh,
Fuck that neck. Fuck
yep.
that guy.
Yep, I feel that.
There, Coraline meets the ghosts of the other mother's previous child victims, including YB's grandmother's sister.
Yes.
The spirits reveal that the other mother, whom they call the Beldam, used the same doll Coraline had, each time disguised as the child in question, to spy on them, taking advantage of their unhappiness and luring them into the other world.
Yeah, and in the very, very beginning, we don't actually see a whole lot, but we see this older doll float in a window, and then we just see these two hands made completely out of needles, like pulling all the threading, redoing the doll, and making it look like Coraline.
Took all the stuffing out,
Yeah.
put it inside out,
Yeah.
added some new weird stuffing, I thought it was sand at first, and sewed everything up and then sent out the window. So that's how she set things up.
Right, exactly.
Which is creepy as hell.
Super creepy. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's weird to think about that they each got the doll and everything at one point. Ugh, yeah.
After they agreed to let her sew buttons on her eyes, the Beldam ate up their lives, trapping their souls. Coraline promises to free them by finding their eyes. The other YB frees her from the mirror and helps her escape back to the real world.
Yes.
Also, because he was talking again, he had like his mouth in a very permanent smile.
Yeah, she like sewed his cheeks up.
Because he wasn't smiling enough.
Yes.
The last time that they were there. And she even told him, we gotta fix that smile of yours. And he's like, because he can't talk.
Right. I wonder who he was, or she just created him.
I think she created everyone. Everyone was created as dolls. Jeez. Coraline cannot find her parents, eventually realizing that they have been kidnapped by the Beldam.
Yes.
Miss Spink and Miss Forcebolt give Coraline an adder stone, meant for bad/lost things.
Yes.
YB attempts to get the doll back from Coraline, and when she tries to tell him about the other world, he runs away, thinking she's gone insane.
Yep.
That night, Coraline is woken by the Black Cat, who shows her that her parents are trapped in the hallway mirror. She returns to the other world, finding it is now dark and nightmarish. To rescue her parents, but the Beldam locks the door and swallows the key.
Yes.
Following the cat's advice, Coraline proposes a game. If she can find the ghost's eyes and her parents, they will all go free. If not, she'll remain in the other world and let the Beldam sew buttons over her eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not good.
So in this scene, we see she's even more menacing this time. Like, her form has changed a bit more again.
She's more like a spider, if anything, now.
Yes, her face is cracked.
Yeah.
And the husband, it looks like, is, because she was calling him Pumpkin, and it turns out he's literally a pumpkin.
Or like a squash or something. Like, he thought he was looking bad before, and now he's just like falling apart. He's fat.
Yep.
He's ugh.
Yeah, it's really gross. And like all the furniture is insects. They're all different kinds of insects, like cockroaches or grasshoppers or, everything is a different sort of insect. It's really creepy.
Very creepy. Using the stone, which can see through illusions, to find the children's eyes, Coraline ventures out into the now hostile other world. With each eye she collects, part of the other world disintegrates until only the living room is left. And here we get a bit of a look and find scene where she has to kind of go through all the other characters, like her other dad.
Yep.
He helps. He gives her the one piece. The women try and grab her.
Yeah. They're actually in like a candy wrapper.
Yes,
and they come out in their saltwater taffy, and the one kid's eye is part of their ring or something. Yes. One of the pearls.
Yeah.
And then
all the bats came and kind of help out.
Yeah,
Coraline.
and they're like creepy dog bats.
And Mr. B is up in the he's nothing left of him but rats.
Yes.
And so she gets them all, but she also loses the adder stone at the same time.
Exactly.
Because she's dumb enough to throw it at a dumb rat. Coraline sees the beldam in her true form, a metallic, skeletal, arachnid creature with
Yes.
needle-like hands. The ghost of Wybe's grandmother's sister warns her that even if she wins, the beldam will never let her go. Thinking quickly, Coraline tricks the beldam into unlocking the portal. While the beldam is distracted, the cat finds her parents trapped in the snow globe on the mantle.
Yes.
Coraline, in a mean way, throws the cat at the beldam's face and grabs the snow globe. The cat scratches her button eyes out and escapes.
Yes.
Blinded, the beldam attempts to trap Coraline, converting the living room into a metallic web.
Yeah.
But Coraline climbs to the now open door, and with help of the ghost, she manages to close and lock it, severing the beldam's right hand in the process.
Yes. Yep. Her creepy, like, sewn hand. Like, it's like a sewing needle hand.
Yeah, just all, like, every digit, everything is just sewing
Exactly.
needles.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
And she's also she's blind.
Yes.
So she's got a bit of a disadvantage here, but at the same time, she's a spider.
Yes.
And Coraline gets her bag kind of stuck on the web and frees it, but it shakes.
Yeah.
And like how spiders can tell if something's in her web, they go by vibration.
Yes, exactly.
So she chases her up to the door, but doesn't quite get her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good.
Yes,
Good for
which is
Coraline.
very good.
Coraline's parents reappear in the real world with no memory of what happened to them. That night, the ghost children appear in Coraline's dream to thank her for freeing them, but warn her that the beldam will never stop looking for the key.
Yes.
We also find out when she's being sat down and about being told to make the deal.
Yep.
She asks, "Why don't you use a key?" And the other dad tells her only one key for 2 doors.
Yep.
And then he gets grabbed and dragged away.
Yeah, and she's like, shh, and
Yeah.
pulls him away. Yeah.
Coraline decides to drop it down the old well, but before she does, the beldam's severed hand attacks her.
Yes.
YB, who has realized Coraline was telling the truth, arrives, and after a struggle, smashes the hand with a stone. Coraline ties the smashed hand and the key to the stone with a blanket, and together they throw everything into the well and seal it shut.
Yes, like about time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this part is like, I don't know, like it's fine, but it just kind of felt like it almost didn't have to be there. Like, why?
Yeah.
This is the part where it felt long. I'm like, yay, we killed it. Like, she could have literally just gone to the well and thrown everything down and called it a day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess
like,
the hand was cut off and in between the 2 doors, so it makes sense. It kind of makes sense. I agree. It kind of dragged it out when it didn't need to, but
yeah, this is the part where I'm just like, okay, everybody's saved, everything's cool, Dad and Mom are being nice, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, by the way, you're gonna have a super quick dream and then have to do more.
Soon after, Coraline and her parents, who have finally finished their catalog, host a garden party for their neighbors.
Yeah.
Bobby brings his grandmother, Mrs. Lovett, and Coraline prepares to tell her all about her sister's fate.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, I wish we would have gotten to see a bit more of that.
Yeah.
Because it's, and everything. And she could, describe exactly. Well, that's how Wyborn knew that she was telling the truth, is because she described his, I guess, great aunt in, perfect detail.
Yep.
So he knew that she was telling the truth. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it actually more than I did the first time, I think. And yeah, I don't know, it's just one of those kids movies that I can't believe is a children's movie. You can tell it's not Disney, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's...
I feel like they use the word children's movie as a very loose term.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what would you rate it?
2.
Oh,
2 out
okay.
of 5.
Interesting.
It didn't do it for me.
Sure.
I get the scariness, I get the creepiness.
Mm-hmm.
For a kid, young kid, this would be traumatizing.
For sure.
Oh, not that far. It'd be scary.
It would be scary.
They'd be a little unnerved by the eyes and the other mother.
Mm-hmm.
And all the buggy parts, but
Definitely.
no, it didn't.
Didn't hit for you.
No, it really didn't.
It's totally fair. Yeah.
It's not a terrible movie,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, it wasn't the best.
Sure. Yeah.
There's I'm sorry, but Corpse Bride, far better. Nightmare Before Christmas, superior. Like, it's just better.
Yeah, I would probably give it a 3.5. I think I enjoy the movie. I think it's creepy when it didn't super promote itself as a scary movie. I think it's creepy.
Yeah.
I think the claymation is
Oh, that's
so cool.
That's so
Yeah.
good. I can't say anything bad about the claymation.
Love it.
Music is great.
Music is amazing.
I didn't like the characters.
See, and I love the characters. I love they're all so flawed. And the only one that I don't enjoy as much is Coraline, just because you don't really sympathize with her, which is hard when it's a main character. A little bit with her parents, because you know that they kind of suck. But she's not enough to be oh, okay, well, you're allowed to be an asshole to other people. You know what I mean?
I didn't care for YB at all. I thought he was, when you first introduced to him with his, flicking vision kind of thing he has,
right.
That's cool. But then he takes it off. I'm like, oh, this guy's weird.
Yeah, I like him as a contrast to Coraline, where she's so, stubborn and brash and everything, and he's more reserved and follows rules to a T, does whatever his grandma says when she says it. I think the contrast was nice for the movie. I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I love these kind of movies.
Yeah.
That they just, are more you think a lot. They're good think pieces, and they're so thoughtfully made that you can tell that, everything that was put into this, they poured their heart into this movie. Yeah,
Oh,
I
definitely.
really like it.
It's not my cup of tea. It's not.
Totally.
It didn't do it for me. Sadly.
For sure.
I know I'm saying it's a terrible movie. It's not. It's not for me.
Right.
It's not my cup of tea.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, and kids' movies are hard ones, sort of, sometimes to relate to almost as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fact that they they did take some risks with this movie. That's
Right.
that's a definite.
Definitely.
100%.
But I did the same thing with Hocus Pocus. Love Hocus Pocus. I watched it the other day. Didn't hit the same. I was
Really?
yeah. Didn't do it
love
for me, and I was
Hocus
oh.
You should-
Disappointed.
You should give Ernest Scared Stupid a shot.
It was fine. I don't know. It's not my kind of humor anymore. I don't think. It just doesn't work for me anymore. I don't know.
But it's creepy. It's creepy.
it's okay. I don't know.
When's the last time you watched it?
Ernest Scared Stupid?
Yeah.
You put it on a month ago.
Did I? No.
Yes.
No.
With the
it's like-
creepy know me things?
Yeah, but no, I gave it to you guys. I said I gave it to you to watch at the cabin. You never did.
Yeah, but we put it on here when I was cleaning the living room. You
Oh,
watched
that's
it
right.
with me, sir.
That's a month ago. That's ages.
my
Ages
God.
ago. Silence.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it was a fun watch. I'm glad that we rewatched it because now I remember it again, and I'm never gonna get that Birth of Venus out of my head for the rest of time. Obviously, I pushed that out of my brain for PTSD reasons or something.
What they did is the unzipped, because I noticed they had eyes. I'm like,
Yes.
that's weird. They have
Yes.
eyes, not actual buttons. Then after the unzip, and they're their young selves with the button eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's cool.
It was a very
that was
cool
a cool
thing.
I like that. There's a lot of things I like with this movie, but as a whole, no, it didn't do it.
Totally
And
fair.
I don't think there's any kill the flicks in this.
Well, I would say the kill of the flick, if we had to give one, would probably be when she went to get the last eye, in quotations, of the child, and YB's dead body was on the flagpole.
Yes, you know what? Yes.
Because that was traumatic.
You know what? I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Because,
I'll go with that.
we don't actually watch it happen, but, a lifeless body, as on the flagpole.
Mm-hmm. As punishment for helping her escape? That makes sense.
Exactly.
You know what?
Ripping his stitches out.
I agree with that. That's a great death.
Yeah.
That's a kill the flick.
Creepy. But even in the beginning, when she's ripping apart the puppet and pulling it inside out, I'm like,
Yeah.
bleh,
Blah.
bleh, bleh, bleh. And next week, we already talked about it, literally all of Talking Chop.
The Bridge Curse.
The Bridge Curse. We're watching The Bridge Curse. I put a little poll on Instagram to see if people wanted to watch it, and it seemed like people were like, heck yeah. So
Yay. Good
let's
job,
do
people.
it. Yeah, good job, people.
Way to go, victims.
Yeah, because I like to, I'm just trying to post and see what you guys kind of want to listen to, what you're feeling, and we'll always take suggestions like we've said before. So feel free to hit us up on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, wherever you see us kicking around. Send us an email. How do you feel? Yeah.
We will get back to you. We will,
We sure
100%.
will. Yeah, we're good at keeping on top of our messages. Better at keeping on top of our messages.
Yeah, our social media has really kicked in overdrive thanks to our social media manager, our new social media manager,
yes.
Victoria.
Yes, shout out to Victoria.
Shout out to the grand Victoria and her social
yes,
media wonderness.
Yes, Gwen.
Yes.
And thank you so much for joining us. This episode was brought to you by our executive producer, Ichabod. We hope you enjoyed your Horr-Gasm as much as we did. Don't forget to rate, download, and subscribe. Also, like and follow us on Facebook at Horr-Gasm Podcast, Instagram at Horr-Gasm, Twitter at Gasm Horror, and YouTube at the Horr-Gasm Podcast. If you have a movie you'd like us to review, this is the best way to let us know. We hope to see you again next week because we have such sights to show you. Plenty of Horr-Gasms for you to experience. Bye!
Later.